Hello, everyone, and welcome to Healing Space with Gently Healing. I'm Jen Tilley, and I'm super grateful to be with you guys. And we do have a special guest with us. Jacob, we can hear you. Hello, welcome.
Hi, Jen. How are you?
I'm doing really good. I'm very happy to see you here on the show with all of us and with me. That is so awesome. I was so excited when you messaged me about wanting to come to the show and have you here in this space with us.
Yeah, I was trying to get on the show a couple weeks ago, but I can't remember what happened. Something happened in life. I'm like, yep, I'm not in the
Yeah,
right mental space to
yeah, yeah.
get on.
Yeah, it's find that balance and be able to come in when you're ready and there's no pressure to it. And that's what's so wonderful about it. It's just like perfect timing for you to be here today.
Well, it's good. It's good. It was meant to be then.
Yeah, exactly. So, since the last time you were on the show, you have received how many new flutes? And what has transpired when it's come to your beautiful flautist skills
Oh my
since the last
gosh.
time?
I did not uh, ever foresee it multiplying or manifesting this way. But yeah, since the last time we spoke, uh, I have 3 new flutes, all
Wow.
from Blue Star.
Oh,
So
cool.
uh,
Cool.
there's like 3 or 4 different flutes I've been like I can see them in the future somewhere. Like, okay, these are instruments that I want to bring into my reality, and for whatever reasons, and I can see them, but I don't know exactly who they are, what they are yet. So 2 of them, I kind of got a good enough feeling for them. Like, okay, this is kind of what these flutes are like. This is kind of their being. So I was able to contact Blue Star, and through some email conversations, like, hey, I'm looking to adopt a couple star beings, and I have a rough image of what they look like, and kind of explained to them
Mhm.
in a few words because it was hard to describe. Not as hard to describe, but kind of hard to. I don't know. Anyways, he understood. He got the connection, and created these 2 beautiful flutes for me.
Oh,
And I'll show one of them.
yeah.
I'll show you one of them. Here's one of them.
Okay.
This one is a moo.
A moo. I
A moo.
love it. I love it. A
And
moo.
I don't know how well you can see this, but there's a special uh, camera. There you go. This is a silver star shield that his friend Magnus makes,
Wow.
and uh, I didn't ask for. Oh, hey, full
Uh,
screen.
yeah, full screen. There you go.
Okay, so this is a pure silver star shield that his friend Magnus
Wow.
makes, and so I didn't envision having this on here, but
Yeah.
through divine appointment, I guess, and just timing,
Yeah.
uh, his generator. So he's completely off grid
Yeah.
where he lives, and so he relies on his generator to operate his tools and stuff and
Sure.
home and whatever. And his generator of 30 years crapped out on him, so he had
Oh,
no way of like making flutes or doing a lot of stuff. He's like, okay, I
yeah.
need a new generator, and I came to him at the right time and like, hey, I'm looking for these 2 flutes. And he's like, all right, well, what are you looking to spend? And I'm like, about this much. He's like, perfect. That's exactly what I need for my new generator.
Yeah.
So he's like, cool. So went back and forth, blah, 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 through conversation. He was able to buy his generator
Yeah.
like 2 days later. Will you stay there? Maybe. I don't know. I don't trust it. We're going to set you
Okay.
back over there.
Awesome,
So,
Jacob.
anyways, he was able to get a new generator because his old generator is 30 years old. They don't make parts for it anymore. And so he has to find another generator to scavenge parts off to make his old one run. But in the
Yeah.
meantime, let's get a new generator and get going again. So
Yeah.
I was able to help him get back and get power, get the things he needed to make himself productive or whatever in life, be able to produce things that he needs. And so yeah, it's this really, really unique kind of almost like intimate divine appointment.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
it was really cool. So anyways, that was a moo.
sure sounds like it.
A moo
Oh,
is
I
a
like.
very,
Yeah.
yeah. I'll just keep rambling. Okay.
Okay. You do this.
I haven't had many people to talk about flute stuff with, so I'm like,
No,
oh my
I
gosh,
love
this is
it.
so exciting. Like I can
Yeah.
just, I was trying to gather a bunch of notes, like, oh crap, where's all my notes that I have on this stuff? I'm like, screw it, too late. I'll just shoot from the hip.
I
And
love it. I love it.
so anyways, it's really, really interesting the names that Blue Star gives to all the instruments, because everyone he creates, it has a name. You know, each one is a unique being that he helps bring into this world. And so Amu is it's spelled AAMU, and it's Finnish, and it means the morning time, like dawn,
Oh,
the time of day, morning time. So it's
yeah.
like the beginning of the day.
Yeah. And it
So
has a star on it. It's like the morning star.
yeah, like the morning star. Yeah, it's very, very fitting, like how the name has so much meaning to its character, its being, its presence, everything. And it's like how does he choose, like how does it's just intuitive. I haven't got around to talking with him about it yet, but it's so spot on all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, like did you know the meaning of this, or is this just what it just felt like, and it just go with it?
Yeah.
So
Even the name Amu, in the pronunciation, it's ooh, right? So like
yeah.
the vowel sounds of that, and I kind of do the Siddic Sanskrit with stuff like that and link it to our chakra systems. But those would be the root and also the sacral chakra in the pronunciation, ooh, and or ooh, and but yeah, it's the double A's, which just the ahs. I don't know, just the fact that it's the heart chakra and the morning and star and all this kind of stuff. That's really, really cool, and I would be very interested as well to hear how he intuitively gathers the names for these instruments. Because yeah, I would be interested. Does it feel very grounding when you play? What's the experience like with that?
I'm getting there. There's
Okay.
so much more. So much
Yeah.
more.
Okay. Keep going. Keep going. I'll
So,
listen.
okay. So, another very, very special thing about Amu is she's tuned to 639 hertz. So, this is where I was trying to find more of that background information on 639. I've read it a million times now, over and over, but yeah, I just can never get it out in words in a very coherent way. So, like, I feel and understand the meaning of it, and just communicating I'm still working on.
Yeah, the
So anyways,
articulation comes. It will
yeah, the
come.
articulation.
Yeah, yeah.
So 639 hertz, like this is 639 hertz is a solfeggio tone, and the basic core of what I get from it is reestablishing connections, or creating connections, and creating flow. There's so much more to it, but like I'm looking at all of it and I don't even know where to start. So anyways,
So beautiful.
it's for blah 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 blah. Yeah. So anyways, too many rabbit trails. 639 hertz is a very, very interesting tuning, because most other instruments are tuned in relation to middle A. So like A 440 hertz or 444 or 432. If you were to tune this flute, it's a little bit backwards. So like this is another flute that I got from Blue Star, and I'll get on to this one in a minute. But most flutes, when you tune them, you close all holes and you play the root note, and that's how you tune your flute.
Yeah.
Well, with a moo, it's completely different. You have to hold the very top note. So you play the top note, you'd hold that one closed, and then it goes in reverse. So, and because of this, and the reason because of this, is that if you were to tune this flute in relation to middle A would have to be tuned at 451 hertz. So it's a bit higher up there in the scale from 440, and pretty much every tuner that I've found only goes up to like 446 hertz as far as what it will allow the tuning of middle A. So like I couldn't really tell you honestly what all the notes exactly are in relation to that top 639 hertz.
Yeah.
I have to go through a bunch of math to figure this all out, and I haven't got around to doing that yet.
Oh, sure.
So, but it's beautiful. It sings beautifully, and I don't really care what note it is. So, one of the frequency counter apps that I sent you, I use that app to measure, count the frequencies to make sure that the bird is, the block is positioned correctly in front of the splitting edge of the where it makes the sound.
Do you want to show that to people so that I understand what you're saying? But
so this here is the bird, or it has many names. It also goes by fetish, block, totem. There's many things. And so this little piece here can slide up, and down. Everything's backwards on the screen. Confuses me.
Yeah.
Anyways, so to get the proper tuning of the instrument, you have to adjust this block to control how the air moves over the splitting edge in here. And if it's a little high, it'll be, I'll probably get this backwards. If it's too far up, it'll play flat, and if it's too far down, it'll play sharp, or vice versa. And so you gotta have this little balance. And so I use that and tune in the very highest top note, and once I know that's playing at correct, the rest of the flute plays correctly. And that way I know I'm also hitting that frequency, and that's part of what I don't want to hit 5-10 hertz lower or higher. Like I specifically want that frequency for the benefits that frequency provides. So it's really, really interesting. Like I've had the most joy and fulfillment, and I don't know what, childlike joy, just learning about this flute and playing it and hearing all the different frequencies and tones. And I'm still learning a whole lot. So I got nothing but time.
Yeah.
So cool. It's absolutely beautiful.
So awesome.
Yep.
I'm telling you that like music just absolutely changed my life in so many aspects, and I'm so grateful. And especially when it comes to the native flute, that it is specifically the native flute that just opened me up in just profound ways. And it's such powerful healing tool, and also in having creativity and giving expression. Being able to express ourselves in a new way. I just think it's so neat that you do this as well. And the passion, like to like, it also brings learning, where it's like wanting to learn the maths that go with it, or now you have something that's in reverse, that's a different kind of flute, and it's really, really fun. And I definitely encourage people, if you've never played a native flute, you should get one and try it. It is incredible experience. And
who cares if you sound good or bad? Just experience it. Just do it for the experience and see how it feels and how the sound resonates and affects all the cells in your body. You play it long enough, you play the right tuning, or it doesn't really matter which one it is. You just got to put your intentions into it and like breathe your intentions into the instrument and feel how those vibrations coming out of it affect your body, affect the room around you, affect the building, the animals, like everything. And as long as you aren't sitting there trying to play the perfect symphony, whatever you want, just be with it and experience that. And it's really amazing. It's fun, and it makes me happy.
Yeah.
It's a good way to put a smile on my face. It's like, I'm just going to play flute for like 30 seconds and it's nice.
Yeah. Very, very magical. So the second flute that you were holding up, what was the name of that flute?
Okay, so this flute is Tabani. This is Tabani. And Tabani is another unique instrument. So Tabani is spelled Thba or Thabani. Tabani. And Tabani is tuned in A 444 hertz. So this plays 440. When you play the C note, it plays 528 hertz.
Oh,
So
wow.
I think
Wow.
everyone knows enough about 528 hertz.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
totally. Now the mouth hole on it, what does it look like? Oh, it is. It is like Phoebe was, which is
yep.
Phoebe is Aaron's flute that he has, and this was the confusing hole. Like this was because it's
And
different than my flute. Yeah,
same with a moo. It's the same. It's just a
just
big
a
open hole,
open hole.
which is I like a lot because it uh, gives you more variety in the way you can shape your mouth to control how air flows through your mouth and into the flute. Because if you just have the little hole and you got to pierce your, lips around it,
Yeah,
it kind of limits how much you can actually relax your lips to allow your mouth cavity to change shapes.
yeah,
And
yeah,
so with this style, you can kind of just press this against your lips and leave your lips relaxed, and
yeah,
that'll also change the way your cheeks bellow in and out and a whole lot of things, and it just feels different. Like you
yeah,
can feel the change in the way the air flows through your mouth by
yeah,
being able to relax your mouth.
yeah.
So
So awesome. I'm so grateful that I got to have an experience of the two different kinds of flutes. And yeah, I think each one is just very, very unique to that. But there is that difference in the cheeks and the resonance that really, like, your mouth is involved in a very different way. Yeah, it's awesome. Awesome.
so
Jacob.
so I wasn't initially planning on picking up Tabani. This was when I was like, okay, I've purchased enough flutes for now. Like I don't need to spend any more picking up flutes or anything like that. Like maybe 6-8 months down the road, I'll look at picking up one in this key, because this is another one that I really enjoy the frequency that it produces. So like 2 days after my first two flutes shipped out, or maybe it was the day after, I went on Blue Star's website just to check to see what else he had on there. Because a lot of times I like to just listen to the instruments he makes, because he's got a sound file for each one that he creates, and you can sit there and listen to it. And a lot of times I like to just go listen to the different voices of the different beings that he's bringing in, because you never know what you're going to hear. Like some of them got really deep, like, and you can feel the presence that they all have. So I like to just go and admire a lot. And I came across that one and like instantly fell in love with, like, nope, like I can't walk away from this one. And like a day or two later, I'm like, yeah, okay, if it's here on Friday, I'll get it. And then there's an extra to it. So not only is it tuned at A 444 hertz, but it has a second fetish block that you can put on it, and the contouring of that block changes the tuning of it to a 440 hertz. So if I wanted to play in 440 hertz tuning, I could do that as well, which is really
Wow.
interesting. So I've tried it with both blocks
Wow.
on it, and it's a very subtle. I mean, you're talking about four hertz difference, but you can, like, when you play it back to back, you can hear the difference and feel the difference
Wow.
between the frequencies. So it's really interesting. So it's a flute with two different voices in it.
That is awesome. That I have not heard of that. What a genius. Is that a common thing, or is this something that Blue Star just like I guess I
I
don't know. Like that's really awesome. What a
I don't
genius.
know. Uh,
Yeah.
I haven't asked him about that actually. So I since he did it, I assume you can't do it again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm thinking maybe he started it and like, oh, hey, this one, like I'm going for a 444 hertz tuning and put a block on there.
Yeah.
Like, actually, this one plays perfectly at 440 hertz.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll keep this one aside, and went and made another fetish to play at 444 hertz. And the the difference is this has little wing channels.
Oh. Oh shoot. Sorry guys, I clicked the wrong button for him. Sorry, Jacob. I put the wrong button. I was trying to
No
make
worries.
you big. So can you repeat that?
All right, so the difference between the two fetishes and what makes it play and the two different frequencies. This one's got little wing channels on it over the I'm trying to get the right light in here, but you can see
Yeah.
it's got two little wing channels here
Yes.
that goes around the splitting edge. On the
Yeah.
other one, it doesn't have these wing channels at all. It's just completely open,
Yeah.
and the way the air moves out from underneath the fetish changes the way it plays. So you
Yeah.
can put the other block on, and it plays differently, which is really really cool.
It's
So
really, really cool. Really awesome. Wow, Jacob, that is so cool. Now we switch places. Oh man. Wow. I just think that it is so cool to learn more and more about the different instruments out there. Mine, just so people kind of can get the difference in comparison, it doesn't have those wings on the side of
yeah,
it. Yeah. And then mine is that small hole that so it's very different in those aspects. Oh, so cool. Oh, Jacob. So, just really quick before, because we have people that came in and they said hello. So I just
yes,
want to
yes.
take a minute to. I don't know if you can see the comments in there, but maybe we can say hi to the people also that have joined us, because I see
Hi
there are.
Willow,
Yep. Hello, Willow. Glad to see all you guys. And
Gary.
yeah, hi,
Nice to
Gary.
see you.
Yes, nice to see you. And Zach had commented that your mustache looks amazing, and I
Thank
would
you,
have
Zach.
to agree. I love it. I love it. It's so fun, so fun. Sammy is here. She popped in, said hello to everyone as well,
Hi
and
Sammy.
Robert,
Robert.
thank you for that beautiful compilation of the music that we play at the start of each one of these shows so far since you created them. It's
Yes,
so
yes, Robert.
awesome.
That's beautiful. I love listening to that before the show every time.
Yeah,
I enjoy it a lot. You did an excellent.
yeah.
Uh, yes, you did
Yeah,
excellent.
did excellent. Totally agree. Totally. And Sammy says she's learning to play the native flute right now, which is
Yay!
really, really cool. I think her husband Gary, and I think this is right. He plays the jaw harp. Did
The
you see
juice
that
harp.
episode?
Yes,
The
I
juice harp.
also I play
Oh,
one of those also.
oh,
It's
you
not.
what?
I seriously do. I seriously do.
That's so awesome.
It's something I picked
Oh,
up on a vacation when I was 15. My parents were doing a kind of a cross country vacation,
yeah,
and I found one in a museum, gift shop area. I'm like,
yeah,
oh, hey, this is that instrument that was on the movie White. I think it was White Fang. There's a few
yeah.
old like minor type movies that I remember watching as a kid, and they had a little. I'm like, this is one of those, and it was like $6. I'm like, hey, Dad, can I get this? He's like, how much? $6. Yep, you can get that. And
Oh,
I played with that thing for nonstop, and it's a really fun instrument, but it's not mustache friendly.
oh, I imagine that would not be mustache friendly.
So
Mustaches do not work as well with that. Oh, ouch.
I,
But
I
at the
still
same
can,
time,
but it's
yeah,
a little more tricky. Before when
yeah,
I didn't have a mustache at all, it's like
yeah.
really easy, but it likes to get tangled in it. So
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm actually fascinated in a lot. I'm thinking about how cool that would be to get one of those and try and learn to play it. I just love new instruments. Last year, I received a pan flute for my birthday. Have you ever played
nice.
a pan flute
I've
before?
not played one.
Oh, it is not the easiest thing to pick up and learn. Does anyone out that's watching this, have they ever tried to play the pan flute? It's I mean, if you're very good at blowing into bottles, it's like, but really it is so many different notes. I would tell you that it makes me feel when I play it like I am jumping out of my body and going into other like I literally feel like I'm traveling dimensional plane, like woo woo wooey. It is a very powerful instrument. So it's like I do the battle of not battle. I do the process of learning it, but also then like whoa, like I feel like I just did some kind of psychedelic drug there for a bit. The way you control your breath with that, but yeah, the jaw harp
Yep.
definitely something I think I don't have the mustache problem, thank goodness, and I can try to learn that too. But I'm always looking to expand with that. But the native flute, man, that right now is just my all time favorite. But yeah, so. Uh, Sierra also came on to the channel, and Sierra
Hi,
says
Sierra.
hello, Jen and Jacob. Hello, I love you. Glad you're here. Were you able to catch the show when Sierra was on?
I did. I think I caught the last half of it or majority of it. I caught most of it.
Cool,
It was
cool.
good.
Yeah, Sierra did such an awesome job.
Even with all the technical difficulties with sound and yeah.
Yeah, that happens, man. You know, it's when you do a live show and you have aspects like your phone, and your phone can get too hot if you have the case on, or there's so many different points to it. But we're getting it. We're all getting it all good. Gary had said nice when you were talking, and I put that up. And ouch for the mustache. Yes.
Yep.
So my question for Gary out there: do you have a mustache if you're playing the Jews or the jaw harp? And if so, what do you do to counterbalance that? Is it just precarious for you too? Oh man! So those are my questions on that. So your third flute. I want to hear about this.
Oh, my third flute. So my third flute is another double melody. And her name is Shukaya.
Yeah.
And Shukaya means the voice of the wind.
Yeah.
So, which is really beautiful because it's got a deep, just kind of flowing, long, like she's torn apart right now because I played her a whole bunch yesterday and got a lot of moisture condensation in the throat of the air channel. So I took all the birds off it to let it all dry out because it was just getting too wet to play anymore.
Yeah.
And I haven't put her back together, and I didn't get her put back together, but I'm still learning to play her. Like she's giant. She's the longest one I have, and she's almost 3 feet long on one side.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
wow.
And on the bass side, the holes are so big, my fingers barely cover them, and I gotta spread my fingers super far apart to make sure I get them all covered. And I'm still exercising my hand to be able to play all the notes properly without missing one and cracking out a note. And it takes a lot more practice, but it's that one's tuned. So the G sharp or A flat note is 417 hertz, which is another solfeggio number. And I don't have any of my notes on any of these things right now because I got just a page of like things I could tell you about this, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm drawing a blank, whatever. Another time. Yeah. So anyways, that one's, it's beautiful. It's taken some time to learn how to play it because the bass side is so boomingly loud it overpowers the other side. So I've had to learn how to half breathe in one side and breathe fully in the other side to control the air volume going between the two different flutes. So that way you can actually hear both of them playing evenly without one side just like drowning out the other.
Now, are there two separate holes with your mouth? Okay. I wonder, just talking about the pan flute itself, because they each have their own tube, right? So it's different airflow that you're doing into each one. I know it's not the same in how it looks by any means, but definitely with that breath work, that's so incredible. That sounds like an incredible one. Did you play it outside or inside yesterday?
Both.
Now, did you know? Okay, so for the outside, because when I would play my flute outside, I'll tell you, it really musters up quite a wind and a breeze. The wind loves to come and play while I'm playing. So I definitely my wind isn't like a huge fan because if the wind gets in my flute, it will not play as well or play. But you now specifically have this flute that is the wind. So I was wondering if you had anything where you've had the wind come up with your flute playing when you're outside, and then with this new flute in specific.
Well, I was going to try and broadcast out in the backyard because it's a little stuffy in the house right now.
Sure.
But it was too windy outside. So like I'm looking outside, I'm like, no, it's all you guys would be hearing would be wind noise the entire time I'm talking. I'm like, oh, I'll go inside. So Kind of, yeah. There's lots of wind right now. And yesterday it was really calm and nice. And for a sunny day, it was cool. So it was a
Oh,
very pleasant day yesterday.
very interesting. Isn't that interesting? Nature loves it when we come out and play with it, and there's a lot of powerful things like playing a wind flute with the wind out there, and so that's interesting that it is windy where you are today. That is so awesome. I love that. So, what else? I would definitely love to hear the flutes that you have to hear the difference. I do see there's a couple comments or one more comment from Gary. I have a beard, but it's not long enough to get entangled. Okay, all right. I guess if you
Nice.
trim that shorter, I guess it's not as much of getting in the way. But your mustache, it's so cool. I think
Yep.
that's yeah. I like
If I
that.
if I wax it up a little higher and tighter, I can
Oh,
get it so it doesn't interfere with the juice heart. But
ah,
I got to use a lot of wax to do that.
oh, there you go.
So
So the nights
I
that you
got,
want to play must wax the mustache quite a
yep,
lot.
get a nice curly mustache going.
Okay, so for the future male self of me in some other lifetime, note to self when the native flute or not jaw harp, I mean finds me again. Cool. Oh my gosh, that is awesome. So maybe one of these days you can wax your mustache up and show us the jaw harp. I'd also love to hear
Sure,
Gary play the jaw harp too. I just think it has such a cool sound and resonance, man. These
it does.
frequencies, it is such a healing aspect to our lives, and one that I think that we're all learning to utilize more. And especially when it comes to instruments that are made out of nature, like the wood from our flutes.
Yep.
It really speaks to a core root element of even ourselves, just being part of and born of nature. So that is really, really awesome. What else, Jacob? What else? So, how often do you play your flutes? Do you have like a certain subset of time that you play, or do you have a schedule for that?
Any free moment I have. Sometimes it's just like I have them sitting on a shelf in my bedroom.
Hmm.
And so if I just walk by, I'm like, oh, I've got 10 seconds and I'll play. And then there's other times like, all right, I've got like a half an hour to sit and relax and I'll grab one and go sit outside and play. Or most often it's late at night when I get home from work because I've got an hour or so before I wind down to fall asleep and everyone else is asleep and it's the middle of the night.
Yeah.
So I can just sit out on the back porch and play. So it
Oh,
depends on my mood, my energy, and sometimes like, okay, I need to go play because there's some I'm unbalanced in one way, shape, form, or another, and don't know exactly how to rebalance myself.
yep.
And so it's like I'll just this flute right here. Yep, that one's got the right frequencies in it that I can play and just kind of
Yep.
realign myself. And sometimes that's 30 seconds of playing, and sometimes that's 15 or
Yep.
20. And
Yeah.
when I'm down, I'm
Time.
like, okay. So
That is so awesome.
it's whenever.
Time isn't real when it comes to that aspect, you know? Like sometimes the recharge is only
Exactly.
15 seconds, but and sometimes it's longer. But yeah, it's very very cool to have an outlet like that. There's times, and I think like even when you were talking, like the image of the ant, you know, in life, like you're looking for the flow and being malleable in a situation to be able to have something to step back and turn to, like the flute, where you're like, now I'll be patient. Now I'll sit within this space and express myself so that I can build that clarity. And going and tuning our energetic system with the right frequencies is oftentimes just building that reality of what's the next indicated right move, man. How do I remain malleable within this space? How do I balance within my vessel? And it is like it's right here. It's right here. Simply picking up the flute.
Yep.
Um, yeah, I talked to this one beautiful musician, Gail. She and I had this conversation. She's a pianist, and she just talked about how like 7 times a day. You know, her best teacher said 7 times a day you go and practice, and it doesn't matter whether you're good or bad. The fact is you'll get better because you'll keep on learning. And now hitting
Yep.
7 times a day and doing that isn't necessarily sustainable or possible, but just having that concept that, you know, I'm going to incorporate this many times throughout my day, just to be able to have that way of expressing myself, to be able to balance myself within this system so that I do know that next indicated step. And it's fun as hell. So I totally recommend it. So I love
Yeah.
this. I love this conversation. It's fun to have that relation. So cool. And maybe at one point we'll get Sammy on here too, as she's saying she's picking up and learning the native flute as well.
Heck
It's
yeah.
just, yeah, it's cool, man. And what else can we go over? What else would you like to share with us? I mean, the flutes are so powerful. Did you try the breathing in through your flute, like I was telling you the last time you were on the show? Like sometimes you go outside and you breathe in the tree, like you just keep your mouth right up.
I have a little bit, but I
Yeah.
usually don't remember. But I did breathe into it a few times, like conscious from, oh, hey. And
Yeah.
you feel all there's a feel to it. Like you
Yeah.
can feel like its presence or whatever. Like, yeah, all this.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, isn't it? It's just so cool. I think that's why I like these flutes too. It's just because of the breath. All the different ways you can play with breath and prana is so important when it comes to our own healings. Like even like for healing seizures, you know, the oxygen and getting the right CO2 to the brain. And so when you learn these different different breath works and being able to learn how it, like even just with certain, like being calm when you play the flute, being synced with your breath, you get a whole lot more oxygen in so you can play longer, and it's like, you know, more efficient. And oh man, it is a cool one to play with prana, to play with breath, to learn that, man, you don't even have to take drugs and you can feel high as, high as fuck when you play. It's
Yeah,
really cool. It's a very psychedelic experience.
it's definitely a very elevated state of
Yeah.
being, just your whole,
Higher frequency.
higher frequency.
Right, Robert. God, so cool. Oh gosh, you got a comment in here. Sammy says, "Well, she's just a beginner." That's what I had read there, was like, I'm just learning. So yeah, it is a process, and just keep on doing it. It's so fun. You got a great comment about your stash. That stash is awesome,
Thank you.
Jacob. Hi,
Thank you,
Tiffany.
Tiffany.
Welcome. Glad that you're here. Yay. Yeah, it is a
And
rad
Jasmine.
mustache. Yeah. Oh man, I missed the beginning of the show. Hi, Jen and Jacob. Hi. I'm glad you're here. You came at great timing. Nope, it's perfect timing, guys. We've been talking about the flute. We both concur that we recommend people to pick up a native flute if you don't have one. And so there's some fun pointers Jacob had at the first of the show, and also Blue Star is where he gets his flutes from.
Yes.
Yeah. So
If you, I highly recommend, if you want a really, really nice Native American style flute, to reach out to Blue Star, because he imparts something into him that other flute makers don't, and he's conscious that he's doing this when he's making them. And so that was another interesting part of when I had the two first flutes that I contacted him to make. That was one of the things he actually asked me, was like, hey, is there any intentions you would like me to guide into these beings as they're being created? And which was freaking awesome. I'm like,
I love it.
oh
I love
wow,
it.
like, so okay, I wasn't thinking this far in ahead, or at that aspect, and started typing, and I didn't even know what I wanted to put, like what my intentions were. I just started writing, and all of a sudden, like, came out with this paragraph, and it was beautiful. Like, dropped his jaw. He was like, wow, oh my gosh, I want to write this on every billboard across the nation. Like, this is freaking awesome.
Oh, that's so cool. I love
I can't remember
it.
what it was word for word. I'd have to pull an email up somewhere, but
Sure.
it's really cool
Already
that,
been
like,
spoken. Yeah.
yeah,
Go ahead.
like, so Tiffany, who is this flute maker? Blue Star. If you look up Blue Star Flutes, if you Google that, Blue Star Flutes, I think his website is bluestarlove.com.
Okay, starlove. Oops. .com
Maybe it's .net. I can't remember.
or
But yes, all his flutes are very reasonably priced, very affordable,
yeah.
and the voice and the resonant being that they carry they're amazing. Like
Yeah.
I'm hooked.
Yeah. No, I love that so much. I mean, my flute came from the Shipibo, and so I don't speak Shipibo. So asking questions, didn't even know what questions to ask. I just knew that this corindero was like, this flute is yours. And so it's just been a very noetic process. But I feel like just even the process of going into the jungle, that there was just intention spoken, and every part of the jungle came to me and said, here is the answers, you know? And so I am just so, I think it's so rad that we also have somebody else that you have found that, like, I guess speaks our language, if you will, that
Yes.
can really
Yes.
like build and make that intention in there. And so there's just these like two yeah, people that came to us that really just knew that there was something higher within our frequency that would really resonate with these instruments. And yeah, you guys, like, seriously, if you can, I do recommend it. I think it's important for us to find ways to express ourselves and find things that we're passionate about and create and bring in imagination, and music just does this on all cylinders. I also talk about frequency. It just is it's more powerful than the light. You know, we talk often like, oh, we're the light, but the light can't go through a wall, guys, but sound can. You know,
Yeah.
and every cell in our body, like you had mentioned this too, is 80-90% water, and it speaks frequency. Like play music over water and watch what happens there. This is you, and you are resonating that frequency, so we hear way more than just our ears, like so much farther. So it's also building that sense even deeper. So cool, Jacob. Oh man, what else? Well, I want to hear you definitely play the two flutes. Does anyone out there that's watching have any questions for Jacob? There's so
Yeah.
many
Any
aspects
questions?
and angles that we could go down. I definitely, because I didn't touch base, but I just thought that it would be really fun to do a meditation today with you playing the flute and just like
Sure.
breathing
Yeah.
in like the positive, beautiful energies of the frequencies and whatever you're creating within your mind of that, you know, of that beautiful knowledge and healing and all the things. And we could just sit and just hear you play with those meditations. Yeah. I like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Another thing you said earlier, talking about prana,
Yeah.
uh, an interesting thing about where we live, we actually have a prana spring on the property here. Like it's like serious. It feels like a well or like a geyser. Like there's a little spot in our woods, and the first time I felt it was a couple years ago, and my conscious understanding didn't quite know how to put words to it. I'm like, wow, there's
Yeah.
something really special about this spot. Like every time I walk through it, it feels all bubbly and kind of tingly, kind of like a jacuzzi tub with ultra fine little bubbles. And like it was like, this is like something sacred about this spot. And it wasn't until last year when I kind of finally gained the awareness or understanding to be able to put words to this and actually this is what this is. This is a prana spring, and it feels like a bath. Like you walk into it and it's like a geyser, like all the energy shoots up out of the ground and you just bathe in it. And it's the most amazing thing ever. Like if you're feeling all kind of weird and out of balance or whatever, just go take a bath in the prana spring. And same thing. Sometimes you need 5 minutes. Sometimes you need a half an hour, and you'll know when you're done because the little fizzy bubbles will the jacuzzi jets will turn off, so to speak.
Really?
And
So how big is this? Like, is this only like on your property so no one can come? It's like, oh, wait, what's
yeah, this is on our property here.
wow. And how big is it that you lay within it? Like, could you
It's
explain? Like, is it?
it's probably 6 to 8 foot area, I guess.
Wow.
It's a decent area. It's
Wow.
all it's like a little bowl. So like our property's on a hillside,
Yeah.
and where this sits, there's a bunch of ferns all over the entire area, and it's like a little bowl. So you got the hillside, and then there's a little pocket that it just kind of sits in, and that's the best way to physically describe it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, energetically, it's like a reverse waterfall. Like it's flowing up out of the ground like a spring.
Yeah.
So
Wow, I
so
want to
it,
try this when we all come together onto your property. I would definitely like
you
that. Sounds
should.
so cool.
And
We
what's
can,
really cool is
yeah,
people that like friends and other people I've brought over that don't have the same I guess energetic sensitivity or spiritual understanding or sight or perception. They don't have the same energetic perception as I do.
yeah.
Will recognize it. Like I will walk through the trail and I'll stop in that spot, and all of a sudden people kind of get this look on their face like they're sensing something, but they
They're
don't know what it
percolating.
is. Like, there's something different here, but
Yeah,
nothing's changed. Like visually, everything looks the same,
yeah.
but they can feel like something here. And some people, I clue them in onto what's going on. I'm like, okay, this is what you're standing in right now. And those people are like, oh my God, like this feels amazing. Like, you mean I'm in like an energetic pool of energy that's just a
Wow.
geyser shooting out of the ground here? And
Yeah. Yeah.
so
That sounds amazing. I think it's a wow on your own intuition and just sensing your own space to to find that. This is really when you balance yourself and you stay in tune to nature, you end up finding these magical little spots. And of course, how cool is that to have that on your property? That's there, and it's its own little portal. And to hear that like the bubbles just stop once you're finished. It's just this like the symbiotic relationship that we actually do have with the earth in profound ways, and that you also learn that and you sense that. So I mean, there's so many layers to that, Jacob, that I just think is total kudos of like awesomeness. I was like rad and awesomeness at the same time. Randomness or awesomeness. I don't know. I was trying to come with both and it didn't go so well. Oh man. So you have Gary who's like, wow, that sounds amazing. I totally agree. Jasmine that says that sounds awesome and magical. Same. Okay, we're moving in. LOL. I know, serious. So serious.
we got
Like
lots of
we
room
get
if
all
you want to come stay for a visit. Lots of
yeah.
room.
Serious.
So
That is so cool. It's just like can we build these communities and we have these awesome places that there's reasons that we gravitate to our spaces that we're in, and how cool. I love that you have that as your home. That's cool.
yeah, our
Yeah.
place is a good our home here is a good place to recharge and rejuvenate when you're energetically bogged down and just got a lot of gunk to get rid of. It's really good at helping rebalance and clean yourself energetically. So
Uh,
it's a nice place to live.
Yeah. Yeah, like serious. Washington is such a beautiful state. Mount Vernon is beautiful. It's just the greenness of Washington just speaks to the heart, and the heart chakra,
Yeah.
and it just permeates there, and just the ferns leading up to even that watery hole that you're talking about, and it's just the green of that of going to that space, and I imagine there's probably moss on the trees and the whole.
Oh yeah. You
Yeah.
have a hard time leaving this place because it's so green. I've traveled most of the western half of the United
Yep.
States, and there's not many places I'd want to live because they're not green enough.
Yeah, yeah,
So
I get that. When we came down here to California, luckily, luckily, it was in January, at the end of January, and I was just like, oh, California, and I just think of the desert and like the LA area too. As we were coming, and I was like, oh, the city, coming from Washington and living outside in Leavenworth was going to be like very, very different. But we got here, and there had been a lot of rains, and it was so green, man, and the mountains and the whole mountain behind us was just is still covered in sage. But I was grateful that California ushered me in with the greenness that the state can have. But you can find it here. California has all the different things. But again, I'm a gypsy and I go all over. And California is also very beautiful. We have green lawn.
Yes.
like so there is green that exists, but we're required to keep our lawns green here in California. So, yeah, Willow says expanded understanding gathering, yes, and Jasmine's like, okay, we're moving in, LOL. Well, oh yeah, I read that, but it definitely has have to visit sometime. Yeah, you guys, like Washington would be a really rad place. When I came back, like I remember coming back from the jungles in Peru straight to Washington, and I was like, wait, I live in the jungle too. There's like the rainforest all around me. And we even have like the scary things like mountain lions, if you will, and bears. Like we also like had those, like they have the
Yep.
jaguars. And so, it's just like I realized that every part of nature is, yeah, we have it around us. It's cool. Washington's rad. You guys should visit. We should definitely have an expanded understanding gathering up in your neck of the woods.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, we're talking about it and working on creating it. So there it is again, out back into the vortex.
Yep.
Spoken
out in the
into your
vortex.
watery vortex on your property. I just was thinking about it. Spiraling that. Oh man, so cool, Jacob. Oh man, this just makes me feel all. Yeah, go. What do you wanna
Another
say?
cool thing about talking about that prana spring was for
Oh,
the
yeah.
first time earlier this week, I think Monday this week, I went out and actually brought one of my flutes out to the prana spring and played in there, and that was an amazing experience. Like
Ooh.
total jump out of your body and go travel. Like it was really, really cool. Like holy moly, like okay, the energy that comes out of these flutes by themselves, this is really cool. Sitting in that prana spring, that's really cool. Putting them together, like holy
Whole other dimension.
yeah,
Literally.
whole other dimension. It was like it was very, very what is the word I'm looking for? I don't know the word I'm looking for. Amaze balls.
I love it. I love amazeballs. Oh man, that is awesome. Oh gosh, that is so cool that you amazeballs. Oh god, I'm gonna totally. Maybe I might adapt that amazeballs. I like it. I'm always looking for better words than just awesome, because awesome's a great word, but amazeballs. I like it. I like it. Oh man. So Jasmine says taking our mushroom bus to Jacob's house, LOL. Like exactly.
Heck yeah.
It's totally amazeballs. Yeah, it's so cool that you step out of your space and then you think about, like how do I even connect this and connect even deeper, and I go into nature, and then you go to your awesome little vortex of your magical spring on your property and play for it and play with it, and it's just, this is how magic is created, and creating more and more of that positive and more of that novelty, and then also astral projection is pretty amazing when you are playing the flutes and seeing, like, you don't have to take psychedelics to have an amazeball psychedelic experience in this
For
life.
real.
Yeah, for real.
Sometimes I hear people talking about like, oh yeah, I did all this stuff. I'm like, you can get that same experience without taking all those psychedelics.
Yep.
Really? Really?
Yep.
Yes,
Yes.
you can.
Yes. Yes, just go to the Prana Spring on Jacob's property and play a native flute, and you will be amazeballs at what will happen.
Jettison out of your body and on a magical trip.
Yeah, I like that. That's awesome. I love it. Oh, what a cool and rad story. And what a fun, just aspects. Like when it's crazy, there's the craziness of the world that goes on. But when you even create these external realities of like seeing these prana springs, and then, even just being the observer, what more can you learn from this? Like as you learn like from the bathing process or whatever, when you get in the springs and once you're done, the bubbles stop, you literally, it's just this cool coherence to a really fabulous reality that you can create. So cool. Jasmine says, amaze balls reminds me of high school days. Did you use amaze balls? Like maybe I've heard amaze balls. Like, is that from somewhere, Jacob? Or did people use that?
Pretty sure I used that term in high school.
Oh.
I have no idea, but
that is funny.
I've heard that and used that term for a long time.
Okay.
No idea where it came from. but
Oh man. Oh, that is
it works
awesome.
really
Well,
good sometimes.
yeah, it
That's the
totally
best way to
does.
describe it.
It totally does. Well, you guys are maybe you were in the cooler group or something than I was, and you used like the
Not
cool.
really. I was not in the cool group.
No. No. Yeah, I had definitely high school was. I had two different high schools I went to, and so two different experiences. But amaze balls, I like this. I like this. So, what other amaze balls experiences have you had with your flutes?
Uh, Lots, I guess. They're all a little bit here, a little bit there. Whenever I have time for it, Uh, I recently just picked up a new microphone.
Oh yes, yes.
So
Wow.
this is my new recording microphone, and uh, no reflection.
Wow.
So I can record with this, and I can also use it to plug into the computer and use the microphone on it to interact this way, because my microphones on my other devices weren't very good. And I also picked up some nice headphones so that I could actually listen to in quality, playback
Yeah.
audio of
Yeah.
my flutes. So I got this to record because there's so many times where I've got like a little 5-minute time, portion of time to play. And then in that 5 minutes, this amazing song comes out of it. I'm like, oh my God, that blew me out of
Yeah.
blew me out of my body. Like, I need to start recording this. So whenever I go play, I can just bring this with, and the microphone is extremely sensitive. It can hear just as well as you can hear with your ears. When I was back in the woods recording the other day, I just had it on, and it wasn't set up to, like, the gain wasn't even all the way up. The gain was probably on the low side of halfway. And it picked up the sound of the train horn 3.5 miles away. Like, you can barely hear the train horn with your ear. And playing back the audio, before I started playing my flute, I heard this. I'm like, that's the freaking train 3.5 miles
Oh
away.
my
Like,
gosh,
holy
that's
moly.
amazing.
But you can also play right in front of it and not max out the microphone and we're just blast it out. So
Yeah.
it's really exciting to have new toys like this
Yes.
to play with. Like, okay, I want to be able to record my flute playing, and it's small enough I could fit in my pocket, turn it on, record whatever I'm doing, and then turn it off and be done, and go back and listen to it later. And the audio clarity is amazing for how small the package it is.
Sure.
So
Wow.
it came with some other audio software stuff that came with it that
Yeah.
I'm still trying to load on the computer, but I have really slow internet. So instead of having a DVD that you can just download everything onto now, nope, you gotta install it off a DVD.
Yeah.
Like, you have to download this. Like, dang it, this is a huge file, and I live out in the boonies, and our internet's really slow.
Sure.
And so it's like, okay, download. I'll come back in the morning.
Yeah.
So I still have to set that stuff up so I can, edit songs or whatever. And I like to be able to share them with everyone else,
Yeah.
So I'm in that process, or in that journey of getting there. So I've gotten all the tools, and I've started to learn how to record and how to set the microphone up so that way it catches the best vocal conditions, or set up so the conditions are best for capturing the vocal range of the flute. So it's not all cracked out in the top or too, or I don't know all the terminology for what I'm trying to say. But so it records really nice.
Yeah. No, that's so cool. I'm so glad you had that. The best advice that I received thus far was that music is meant to be shared. When you're creating it, it is meant to be shared, and that helped me overcome. I would get kind of anxiety, if you will, like sharing it. Like, it was one thing to learn it, but then it was another thing to start doing it for other people. And I had this client, and her father was a musician, and that was his advice. Like, that's what he said, and then she passed it down to me, or that wise wisdom, and things really started shifting. And so it's really fun to get those gadgets and gizmos, or like there's certain recordings I would do and I would hear the generator in the background that I hadn't noticed, and I'm like, oh, well, that was a great song. And wow, what do I do with it? And sometimes I would share it and other times I wouldn't, but there was just this journey of learning to record it and learning to share it and learning all of that. And it's really awesome that you're investing in that and investing in yourself and investing in well, sharing the sound healing that these amazing instruments were created for. So
Yeah.
so rad, Jacob.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
do we have any questions? Did anyone come up with questions? We asked if anyone had questions. I don't see anything there in the comments.
No, I
Nope,
didn't
no
see
questions.
any questions for you or here. We can ask again. Does anyone have any questions on the flautist side of things, or music, or expressions, or prana? Nope. So, what else? Gosh, this has been so fun. I just love hearing all of this. I wonder, like, even for Sammy, if she's just started playing. What was I don't remember offhand the name of the apps that you use to tune the instruments. Maybe we can share that with them if they would like to know. I'm like trying to find questions for them. This is a good thing to have, so you can learn how to tune your instruments. I think you sent me two specifically, but
so the little icons are really vague on what they're called. One's just called a frequency counter. I have to actually open the whole thing up to see what it is, but I'll look.
Yeah.
But they help. They help me adjust my ear too, because sometimes when it's more humid out, sound travels differently. When there's higher moisture in the air. So most of the time it doesn't matter when I'm playing my flute, but sometimes I like to know just for my own knowing.
And the reason why I'm also asking is because I was so grateful when you sent me that information, because before I had tried to download some other apps and it just didn't work out for me. Like they weren't the right apps, and I kind of just abandoned it after a day, probably like a part of my day searching. And so, yeah, this was very beneficial.
So yeah, the one I use for a moo and tuning that and kind of just hearing what the core frequency is of a note without having a bias of a tuning, like a tuning bias. So like 440, 444, 432, that's a tuning bias. You're tuning to that frequency. So if you're just looking for just straight frequency, like what is the frequency this is making without any other, bias to it. I use an audio frequency counter by CoolSoft. It's KEUWLSOFT. CoolSoft.
KEW. Oh, sorry. Say that again.
KEUWLSOFT. CoolSoft. It's a weird.
KEUWLSOFT.
Will it let me type in here?
Here, no, here. Is this right?
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, I just wanted to.
CoolSoft.
That's an interesting spelling. So.
Yeah, that's
cool. So we have the frequency counter and then the CoolSoft. Yeah, that was
frequency. The frequency counter made by CoolSoft. So there's other frequency counters out there, but that's the specific one that I use.
Cool.
So, and it's pretty basic, which is all I really needed. I didn't need anything super fancy, like tell me all this other stuff. Like I just want to know what that frequency is, and for a cell phone app, it does good enough.
Yeah, I like it.
So, where's the other one?
Oh yeah, I can't pull it up on my phone because I'm using my phone.
Yep. The other one, sound corset tuner and metronome.
Sound corset.
Yeah, corset, sound corset, tuner and metronome.
CORE.
Yeah, CORET. CORET. Sound corset.
Cool. Cool.
That one I use for the other flutes that here it is. Sounds yet. So tuner and metronome by Sound Corset. And that one I can change my tuning preference, like 440, 442, 432. Those are three main frequency I tune into for the instruments I have. And yeah, so if I want to know if it's tuned within that frequency range, I can use that. I can switch between the different hertz quickly and easily, and the whole way it's all set up is just nice and easy and basic. And it's got a whole bunch more features in there than I'll ever use and I don't want, but the main features I want in there, it's set up pretty well for the way I like to use it.
Yeah.
So
I love it. I love it. That is so awesome, Jacob. Thank you for sharing that and finding that for us so it will be easier. Very much. That is so cool. So, do you have any ideas like on meditations? Like if you were like what you would like to do with us today and have us create within our mind or any of that aspect? Would you be willing to play for us and do that?
I'd definitely be willing to play. I don't have any ideas for meditation. So I usually just kind of go with it and it develops on its own. Like for me personally, when I do it, that's just kind of, okay, this is, I'm going to, the direction I'm just going to meditate or go towards that state and not have any expected direction out of it a lot of times. And usually I end up exactly where I need to be.
Yeah, I love that. And that's very much kind of like clear the mind and just allow the frequency to flow you to what you need to see itself. And I love that intention. So, yes. So my biggest thing with the meditation today that we would just do is like the breathing that we do, which is breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. Again, if you feel any dense energy, just when you exhalate, slough off that dense energy out through your feet and then breathe in. And I would just imagine really breathing in that beautiful crystalline frequency from Jacob's flute playing into your vessel. And you can visualize bringing it in down through your crown and third eye and throat and heart and solar plexus, sacral chakra and root chakra. Or you can just, again, breathe in through your nose, out through your nose, and sit within your Merkaba space. It's up to you.
I'm losing sound.
Why are we losing sound?
I don't know.
Maybe it was just the internet for a moment. Can you hear
Could
me
be.
okay?
I can hear you okay now, but I need you to step out for one moment to use the restroom, and I'll be right back.
Yeah, so I'll walk people through what we'll do. And thank you for being here. I'm so excited.
Yes.
So this is really awesome. So I'll keep walking.
Be right back.
You go do that. Yay. Yay. So we'll go like this while Jacob, his mic is still on. Let me see. I'll mute that. Maybe I need to do this and then mute it. Oh, there it is. Mic mute. Yes. Okay, guys. So, while we're waiting for Jacob, if you have any water nearby or if you want to grab yourself some water, I will grab my water as well, setting your intentions of what you need assistance with today or like gratitude, love, what you would like to create more of, and bring in the water to help, teach you this. I'm imagining right now the prana spring that is on Jacob's property and the information that lies within that spring, which this water here, they're all connected. So I'm going to breathe in or drink in the concept of that spring. If you guys would like to join me in that and see if we can get even more information and cleansing from the spring, even though we're not there, we're all connected. So might as well place ourselves by that spring at Jacob's. I like this. Yes, yummy water. So again, let's do that. Let's create within our mind while Jacob's playing the idea of being around that stream in the way he painted it. It's surrounded by ferns. There's kind of like a bowl-like shape. It's about 6 to 8 feet wide. It has like a bubbling spring coming up, so it's more like a jacuzzi. And I imagine that it's cool, fresh water in there. So, in the meditation, whether you want to be lying in the spring or sitting around it is up to you. I think I'll be playing all around the spring. And again, I like to place this in the Merkaba or have you place yourself inside a Merkaba. That's done by just drawing a triangle above your head, connecting the points of the triangle below your feet, and then drawing a triangle below your feet and connecting the points of the triangle above your head. This is your vehicle. Jacob is back. Yes. So yeah, this will help you travel the different dimensional spaces and go inward and outward, however you need to go with that. But pretty much, yeah, just breathing in the beautiful light and frequency, the crystalline light, and rooting out any dense energy. Imagine yourself around the prana spring. And Jacob, I would appreciate if you could play both flutes for us. And
Sure.
I will mute my mic. I know the last time we had talked that it felt like you had been disconnected when I muted my mic. But I feel that by keeping my mic on, there will be frequency within this space and extra sound. So, what is your preference? Because I don't want to do like where you feel like you're cut off from us by muting that. But at the same time, I want to have it be clear.
You either or is fine. If it stays on, I can actually hear part of the resonant frequency coming in from your end, which is kind of an interesting thing to incorporate while I'm playing. But the biggest thing is not switching off and on, because there's a the on and off connection kind of throws me off, and like, hey, what was that? It's just a distraction. So
yeah,
if you want to leave your
totally
microphone on, that's totally fine. Just leave it on.
Yeah, so don't do on and off. I think I will go with the turn my mic off, and that you are still fully connected with us, so that they could just hear the full purity of what you're playing, and with your new sound equipment and all of that. Like literally, let's have it come through to the magnitude that it can. So
all right.
pump that up.
Before we start, I'd like to play a couple notes just as a sound check to make sure it's not like overloading the mic or blowing out. I've got it set to where it should go. I did a little sound check beforehand, but there wasn't enough other people really listening while I was playing the flute to see how much louder it is than when I'm speaking. So I'll play a few notes and we'll see how it all sounds and see how it is on everyone else's. If you guys can give me feedback in the chat, that would be super good, because I can turn my mic down a little bit so that way you guys can hear more of the range without the top end being blown out or anything. I'll point my flute at the microphone so you get more of the sound too.
Sounds good.
How'd that sound?
Awesome on my end. Any feedback from the people that are in chat and listening? I think it sounded incredible, Jacob. Just like I'm so excited to hear you play even more. I just am. And so this was Amu or Amu, the first one that
Amu.
Yeah, was the first, and then the second flute you're playing is
Tabani.
Kabani.
Tabani.
Tabani.
Like Bonnie with that ta at the beginning.
Tabani.
So this one was the one I was a little more interested in seeing how it plays. Well, this sounds good to me. Higher frequency, holy awesomeness. I like that. Holy awesomeness. It's like maze balls. Holy awesomeness.
Yeah, holy awesomeness. Maze balls. I love it. We're
sounds great.
That
good.
Yeah.
Sounds great. Okay, so this one, Tabani, is a bit higher in frequency. Amu has a very, very soft voice. That's one thing I've really enjoyed about her is her voice isn't doesn't have a lot of magnitude as in far as like how much space it takes up. It's got a very intimate voice to her. So I could play her with other people sitting right in the same immediate 6-7 foot circle of people talking. I can play it at full volume for that instrument, and everyone can have a clear conversation, and I'm not overpowering the crowd. Whereas a lot of my other flutes, it's really easy to overpower anyone else talking. So that's something I've really admired about that flute is I can play it around other people without hindering their ability to communicate with everyone around them.
Yeah.
So that's fun. But Tabani can get a little bit louder. So
do you want to try the mic check with Tabani?
Yeah, I'll do a mic check with this, and then I'll go back to playing with Amu. So. How's that?
I think it sounded good.
On my meter, it was showing out almost about maxing out. So if I play this one, I'll probably turn my gain down on my mic.
Okay. All right.
So let me do a quick little check on this real quick.
Okay.
And that way I'll know. Come when I switch instruments, I can just change the gain on it, so I'm not blasting.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it.
If I get a little more spirited, it'll get louder, and I might, overdrive. Was there a definite volume change?
Yeah, right. that sounded actually really great. And I'm glad that you have an ear that I was missing that, because that actually made quite a coherent, it's different. And that sounds much better being turned down just a little bit. Mm-hmm.
Sweet. I like having a microphone with a gain control on it. So you can I'm too loud on my end. So not having to just rely on balancing it onto one end, it can be balanced out on both ends. So
what a cool, fun little gadget you got, Jacob. I love it. That's so
Me too. I'm glad to have the opportunity now to play with it, because I've had it for a couple weeks now, and the first maybe 3 weeks now. How long has it been? Time flies. I've had it for the first 2 weeks. I haven't had a chance to play with it. And it's just sitting there in the box staring at me like, I got too many other responsibilities to do right now. So
but it came when it was supposed to. That's what we talked about.
Yeah. Totally.
Yep.
Cool.
Holy awesomeness, Jacob. Okay, guys.
Holy awesomeness.
I am so ready for this beautiful meditation. And if you just, take us through, play both our instruments for us, and then we'll go from there. Oh man, I'm so excited to listen to what you are about to create for us. And again, I am so grateful for all the people that are here. I want to take a moment to say like and subscribe to this channel if you have enjoyed this show so far, and share Jacob's beautiful music around, because seriously, what a gift it is to have you on the show, and someone with such passion and creativity when it comes to the higher frequencies out there. And so awesome, guys.
The intentions are intentions I have with playing right now, this first song, or however it manifests, is true to spirit of Amu, and helping with connection and facilitating that. So a lot of the intention in this will be to help with anyone that has connections that need to be released, to help gently release old connections that need to part, and new connections that are coming in, to help facilitate new connections, and connections that are already connected to help reinforce. So that's, when you asked me earlier what kind of direction of meditation, that's what came. So in the flute playing.
I love it.
Did you want to lead us off with some breathing, or how did you want to start? You want me to just go for it?
We can just start where we sync our breath really quick. So
Right.
for
Sounds
everyone,
beautiful.
yeah. So for everyone that is ready to participate in this meditation with us, you can find a seat or lie down, whichever's ever most comfortable for you. And we will begin by breathing in through our noses and out through our noses. And place your tongue on the roof of your mouth to allow the highest level of frequency to flow through your vessel. And whenever you are ready, Jacob, we are ready to listen and begin.
I've got no sound on your end.
There we go.
Much better.
Hello. Welcome back. For those of you that have been meditating, yes. Breathe through your nose, out through your nose. Come back. And go ahead and open your eyes when you're ready and see how you feel. Ah, Jacob, that was so beautiful. I definitely you got things stirring within me on with your first flute that you played. Like right at the very end, it was like this mucus came up, and I was like, oh, yes, I guess we did need to clear something there. I'd be interested to hear if anyone else had any kind of purgative responses with that frequency, or any psychedelic experience or anything that you saw during that time. There's just such a notable difference between the consciousnesses of those two flutes. And it was really, really cool to experience that. You do this, this dip with, I don't know what it's called when you play. Is this something you do specifically with your mouth? Do you know? It's like, I know
Is
that
it
it can be
a wavering sound, like a whoo, like
yeah, like I don't know like how to explain it. There's just this
let's see if
like
I can replicate it. Let's see if I
okay,
can
okay.
replicate it and you can
Yeah.
tell me.
Yeah.
Anything?
That was very, very beautiful, but no, it wasn't those
Nope.
things.
Nope.
There's just this other, it's almost like it goes down. Um, it feels like it's something that you might be doing with your mouth more than a note. I would have to go back and like pinpoint like this right here. Because again, articulation when it comes to this sometimes can be a little bit more challenging. But I must say, that was so beautiful, Jacob. Thank you so much for playing and sharing that and setting such awesome intentions behind that. I definitely felt it very much. Maya, I love you, Maya. She said, thank you, Jacob. It was so perfect.
You're welcome. And thank you.
So
Thank you for
cool.
being here with me and
Yeah. Thank you,
giving me
guys.
the chance to. This is a lot of fun. I really
Yeah.
enjoy this.
No, I totally agree. Sammy says such a beautiful sounding flute, so relaxing. Thank you, Jacob. It's so true, so awesome, and so unique. Each one of those flutes. I'll be excited to. No, I can't remember the 3-foot one. The big
Shikaya.
Shikaya. Oh man, I'll get these names sooner or later. Shikaya. That I would love to have you back and play Shikaya for us, and also things that we talked about before was like talking about your awakening and what that process was, and
Yes.
I know that we've been going for like an hour and 40 minutes, so I feel like I don't want to shorten the story on that, and
Yeah,
so I would
that's
love to be able to like invite you back in the next like week or two and have you and share with you what that journey of awakening was, and be able to bring in your third beautiful flute, Shikaya, would be really, really awesome. I would love to have everyone in the comments concur. Like, yes, Jacob, come back. Yay, bravo. Bravo.
well,
Lots of claps for Jacob.
maybe this weekend. We'll see what's going on. So
Yeah.
I kind of
Yeah.
just plan things day by day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd love to share my awakening story. I was thinking about that at the beginning of our broadcast today, and I was like, okay, we're on the subject of flutes. I'm not going to have time to talk about that because I could get very lengthy on that whole entire subject.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like I've talked about it before and I've spent 8, 10, 12 hours talking about it. And like, there's just so much
So
in
much
there. It's like, where do I start? Like, how far back in the story do I actually start on this? Like, do I go back years before when I had set intentions and did things, like setting foundation or setting desires or setting, things that I was seeing, because I was seeing things before it happened, and though I didn't understand it, I was pursuing it. I was like, how far do I go back in this, storyline of how it all happened, because there's lots and lots of little details over the entire course of time that make it, they're all part of it. So
yeah. That's why I think I don't want to like shorten it and be like, and now let's go into your awakening story, because I want to be able to have you just like be able to speak to that as well. So yes, I hear that. So we're gonna definitely have you back. You got more comments. Sierra says that was so beautiful. The intention was perfect. Thank you, Jacob. Yes. Maya says was so perfect. Before I tuned in, I had a short aha moment in the garden, releasing some chords, and just perfect to finish process. See, it's just meant to be. The timing is perfect, Jacob. Exactly the theme. And Robert says, such good vibes. I love the first one. The second you played, I got locked in. The new Pied Piper, yo. I love it. I love that, Robert. So true. Yeah, it's like that first one, and I was like, oh man, that's so amazing. And then I did this cough, and it was like mucus, and I was like, I ran and spit very, very quickly. I was like, oh man. And then it was like you were finishing up just at that moment with it. So I got the very end that led then into the next flute, where if my picture had been up on the screen, you would have seen my jaw drop. It was just like so cool, and such. Yeah, the new Pied Piper over here. And Sammy says, yes, come back, bravo. So many claps for you, and cheers. Yes, please come back.
Yeah, that was a really fun experience playing in the group like that. Like I've played before, but I don't know, there was more attunement, I guess, more attunement with the rest of everyone. And so it was really interesting to play and feel all the energy, all the different the presence of everyone in the entire meditation. Like it was all the feels. Oh my gosh, all the feels. If I could paint a picture of all the feels that I was witnessing during that whole entire meditation, like that'd be quite the painting.
Yeah.
So it's
so cool.
Yeah.
I am so grateful you had that experience, and being able to experience this family's beautiful energy of us all coming together, and the power in that. And I'm like so grateful that you had reached out and that we stayed, in contact to get you back on here. I am, and I'll take this opportunity for a moment, because I've sat in my own like creative juices over the last several days, especially like lots of downloads and lots of like information just kind of like coming in of where do we go and where do we grow from here, and so I started recognizing of all the different platforms that are there, and I started learning a lot with like Photoshop and all this kind of stuff, and I realized that the time and the expenditures, that there's a time of balance, and so I'm going to be dropping the show down on the amount of times that I'm doing it, but not like going away. Like there's like having the different Facebook groups and the Instagram and the TikToks and the different platforms. And so
quality over quantity.
And doing this episode for as many times as I have has just been such a cool and rad, rewarding process. Like Jacob, I think you could have a show and do this, and it's just so cool. But there's this process of balancing, like the energetic return, where it's like, am I getting the other part on the back end? Like where am I getting that balance? And mostly, like we want this to grow, and we want this channel, and we need to get advertisement out, and we have so much content and so many fun things and creations that we're all coming up with and coming together to do this. And so I've made the decision, and it was this whole process, but I feel very, very solid about it. And just coming in on Fridays, I like the Fridays leading into the weekends, and also doing like a 6 o'clock showtime as opposed to the 4 o'clock. And just having that and leading right into like Zach and Aaron's show. But I am just so stoked on this community that we're building, and I just want it to keep on growing and growing and growing. And the way to do that is really to be able to be malleable, find that balance. What have I gleaned and gained? And this has just been so rad, just to meet myself like every day and show up at 4 o'clock. And then I'm recognizing, well, where are all the things coming in and the juggling process of that. In the last couple of days, I started getting really busy. And then I was like, I think that this is exactly where we're going and we're moving towards, and yet still be able to be here. So with that, I definitely am announcing to the people that 6 o'clock on Fridays is when I will be continuing to do my shows. I will still be on the Facebook groups. I'm going to be doing more like Instagram lives, TikToks. I want to get meditations like out all over. So there's like all of these ideas and all these things that I'm coming up with, and I'm learning like how to do that. For example, like Photoshop. And that's been fun. So anyway, so that's the side note. So either this Friday or next Friday, or like the following Friday, like having you come back on and share your story, I would absolutely love that. And I'm just so excited for what we're all building together. And I'm so excited just that we're here right now, man. And that you're like, even the prana spring that you're talking about, like all this stuff, it just fills my day.
It's something definitely that needs to be experienced.
Yeah. Totally agree. Totally agree. So you let me know the next time you have another Friday available at 6, and we will get you on and hear about that and hear McCullough?
Shakaya.
Oh, okay, it's coming.
Shakaya.
Shakai. It's like Shakaya. It's coming. Shakaya. Memorizations.
Mm-hmm.
I already know this. I'm a receiver. It just comes in. Shakaya. Shakaya and I are now connected as her beautiful 3-foot instrument flute that I can't wait to hear you play. Jacob, I just have to say thank you so much. You are just so awesome and such a badass, and I love the connections that you and I have. And
you too, Jen. You too.
Is there anything more that you want to share with us before we wrap up this show? I mean, it's been so full.
I encourage anyone and everyone to get on the show. There is a little bit of nervousness getting on at first, but once you get on, it's great. I like this a lot. Like seeing Sierra come on the other day, that was great. And Jasmine, that was great too. Like having you guys on, like, keep doing it. Like, and if you haven't, find some time. Don't force it, but
Sammy
just
as well.
Keep it. Yeah, Sammy too. Sammy, yep. There's so many people now. I'm trying to
keep track. Everyone track of it.
It's like who else has been on the show? But yes, I encourage everyone to just come on and be yourself. That's it. Just be yourself.
I love it, Jacob. I love it. And I love this kind of platform, really, like, is that we come together and we share our gifts of creativity and different ways that we can do this life and learn about, even our different senses. Like you talk about sensing that prana stream right there. And oh man, or jacuzzi.
Yep.
I just think it is so rad. And yes, thank you for giving that plug. And I agree. It is so cool to come on. I think it is a different way, like where you can experience the difference between nervousness and excitement and anxiousness.
Excitement.
Like anxiety. And that it feels very much the same. And then meeting yourself there and finding like what it is to get uncomfortable, to get comfortable. And just standing in that space is very, very empowering. And I think many people would agree that have been on this show and what the reports have been afterwards. So I love having this platform. I love it so much. I want to keep it going. I want to keep it growing. And the way this has to be done is also through more advertisements and more processes there. And I'm excited for the creations of that and learning about that. That's how we do this, the great and grand awakening and reaching as many beautiful souls that are there and they're ready. And I feel very powered to do that. And so, we have people going, yes, let me make sure that I'm not missing. Wait. Let me just go backwards. Thank you, Jacob and Jen. A great show. Sammy, you're welcome. I love you. It's our pleasure. A beautiful show. Thanks, Jacob and Jen. Gary, yes. And again, I want to get that mouth jaw. I want to hear it. I want to hear
Yes.
it. Such good vibes. Oh, yeah, we read this. Okay, now we're back. Thank you, Robert, and Higher Frequency.
Heck, I think I might have my mouth harp handy. I can go grab it real quick. Let's see if I can find it in like a minute.
A minute. Okay, 1 minute. Okay,
I'll play it if I can find it.
Okay, careful with mustache. Oh, you guys, we might get the what? This is like a pleasant little surprise, like a last minute, like it's the encore. You know, we're about to exit and everyone claps, and then now it's the encore, and oh, he did. He found it. He's got it. I heard it. Did you hear it? Oh my gosh, how exciting! Okay.
Found it.
The mustache, hold it up.
It's the mustache, yes.
The mustache, yes.
So for those that haven't seen one before, this is a mouth harp or a Jew's harp, a tongue harp. It has many names. Yeah, it's got a frame. So the frame, and then it's got a little springy metal piece in the middle that vibrates, and this is what gets your vibration. It'll hold this up to the microphone, and I don't know if you can hear it.
Yes.
Against the air, it just kind of makes a noise like that. Once you get it inside your mouth, you can then change the volume of your mouth cavity. So the bigger it is, the deeper the sound. The smaller your mouth, the higher pitch the sound.
Yeah.
You can also use this to pretty much talk with. So you can make the same shapes in your mouth like you were speaking, and you can get a lot of those sounds to come out like you're saying words. Wow. So it's really interesting. And if you want to go for an even deeper sound, you instead of keeping your mouth cavity closed at the back, like you're breathing just through your nose and not through your mouth, you open up your throat, and it gives a longer resonant chamber, and the sound will actually deepen even more if you leave your throat open while you play.
So rad. I love it. Is this the original? Yeah. The original one you had?
This is the replacement for the original, because I this is the same exact one as my original.
Yeah.
But right here at the corner, I threw it in my pocket real quick one day, and it busted off. And I was like, no, I really like this one. Yeah. And it took a while to find this one exact one again. So I found it, and I have it, and I've got I think 3 other ones that are tuned a little bit differently. So some of them have a deeper sound, and some of them have a really, really high tingy sound. So, but this one's a nice middle of the road medium. It's pretty durable. It's only like $6 or $7. I don't think I've paid more than $10 for one. I mean, they get up price. I found a guy in somewhere in Europe. His name's Zoltan Zalegi, I think. I don't know. I have a brochure of his from like 15 years ago somewhere, and I don't even know if he makes them anymore, but he had like 20 different styles of Jew's harps that he made. So, and for the record, for those that know, the name Jew's harp has no relation to Jewish culture at all. So it's just a pronunciation of some sort. So that's how I've always heard it, and always have known it as a Jew's harp.
Cool.
So
good to know. I wasn't aware of that. And I know that when they were sharing it on the show, I think they were also like, is this a racist terminology to call it that? So I think, they might not have actually specifically said that, but I think there was like a little question on that. And so, good.
Yeah, no relation at all.
Yeah.
It's just what it's called. So,
yay.
Anyways.
Well, let's hear you play. Yay, I'm excited.
How's the volume on your guys' end? Is it good?
It's good on my end. I have my mic muted, so it's good.
All right. I just was wondering if I need to turn the gain up on my side or turn it down if it's too loud.
I can't.
Mustache. mustache.
Oh man! Well, it's a beautiful mustache, and
yeah.
really, actually, that was really, really, really rad. I want to get one. My birthday is coming up. Maybe this is a birthday present I get for myself. It's right in
they're
my
inexpensive.
price range.
And they're fun. And it's really fun if you're walking down the road and you bring one out, and all of a sudden you go, and people turn around like, "What was that noise?" And you're like, "I don't know. That was a really weird noise." And
you're such a trickster. I love it.
It's kind of fun to mess with people every once
that's
in a while.
So cool. I didn't realize that the round part was going to go outside your mouth and that part was going to go around. When you were talking about it, somehow I imagined it going in the mouth, and then I don't know. I had this whole different way that I thought you would play it.
So some people bite onto this, and it all depends on how your mouth is shaped. You know, everyone's teeth are different. Yeah. So I like to bite on this edge here.
Yeah.
Some people will rest their teeth along the back edge of it. So the main thing is to hold this firmly against your teeth without pinching it together, because if you pinch it together, it hits on the metal. So you need to hold it just hard enough to, you know, keep the frame from moving around, but not so much to where it pinches down on the string or the tongue, I guess, the tongue. Yeah, tongue, little spring. So, yeah.
So cool. I must get one of these. They look so fun.
Yeah, that just catches my mustache every time.
I could see. Oh, I appreciate the fact that you took the time to even just attempt that. Oh man, that's so cool. Jacob, this has been so fun today, and I love that you brought out that Jew's harp at the end and had such play. Like, this life is so much about play, man. Really,
it is.
Learn how to play, learn how to have fun. I think that's the biggest part of my next stages of creations. Like, life is hard enough out there, man. It just is, and it's about perspective. Changing our perspectives. Have fun.
Have fun.
Lighten up, you know, and love yourself is the gift it's been given to us, and that is through this play, man. And Jacob, thank you for coming. Let me know, like I said, whatever Friday you're available, we'll get you back on the show. And again, announcement 6 p.m. Fridays from here on out. We'll be doing this show, and who knows?
No longer daily through the week, just on Fridays.
Just on Fridays for now.
Right.
And this is just part of that creation. You know, who knows, like, about doing daily shows in the future. It's just for right now, there's this importance of that creation, getting the content out there and learning how to balance that. And I feel really good about this.
It's good. Sometimes it's good to pull back a little bit to get perspective on.
But it's still creating, you know?
It is.
And that's what I love, is that I did this, and I got all, like, I wouldn't change a single thing about this whole journey and where we're at, and I just follow the next indicated step, and I listen to my heart. You know, I think through my own attachments, you know, like you work through that where you're like, oh, but I want it every day. But do you? Is that what really is?
Do you have the ability to sustain that every day?
The sustainability of that every single day. And the thing is it is reaching out to even farther platforms and doing even further creations, and that's what we're doing together. And I love that. You know, it's all about the love and the healing. And I don't know what this is. It's called the reed, and jaw harps are a lot of fun.
The reed. Yeah, the reed would be a good name. Yeah, term for that.
Yeah. So. Yeah, Sammy says a daily show is a big commitment. It is. I mean, it's so fun to do this, I have to say. Like, just like Jacob said, come on and feel it and experience it. But then there's, like, certain things that come into play, like needing to go get a new battery on my car, you know, like, you know, life. And then also, like, the enjoyment of, like, there's just more, guys. There's just more, and so much more coming. And it's just following that next indicated step. So I'm glad that I have done that, and that I stayed to that, and I feel, like I said, really good about listening to the next indicated step. So for now, and we might change that again, like, it's being malleable. It's literally
Mm-hmm.
being valuable for, there be a time like 3 days a week or, however it goes. I don't have any answers to that. I just know that the next bit and the amount of work that and fun that I'm putting together right now, it's just, it looks like I'll see you next Friday, and we'll just take it from there.
Sounds good.
So, man, I love all you guys. Jacob, I love you. Thank you so much for coming on. And I will look forward to seeing you guys here next week and talking to you again soon. Jacob, let me know about your scheduling and all
Will
you
do.
guys. I love you. I love you. And we will see you very, very soon. Bye bye.
Bye, everyone.